Hello, Com 100 hybrid students. This is going to be a tour of a hybrid class and a little bit of discussion about what hybrid means. First of all, we need to be really clear that homework does not equal hybrid. You're going to have homework assignments in this class, and you're going to have the hybrid learning part of your class. When something is hybrid, it means you take two things that are different and you put them together. So this class is not completely an online class, and it's not completely a face-to-face class. It's a combination of both. The way the class has been designed, you're going to spend half of what would be your in-class time doing assignments online in this Canvas class that is going to be shown to you. And you're going to spend the other part of the time in class doing activities and getting any particular questions answered and getting to work with your classmates to really learn and develop skills in communication. So let's look at this class. As you can see on your screen, we're at the home page for the class, and yours might look a little bit different from this depending on what your instructor decides to do to customize it, or it could look pretty darn similar. So this is the home page. Let's look. There is an announcement. So you should check the announcements every time you log into Canvas just to see what's going on. There's a thing in your settings for how you get communication from Canvas where you can have the announcements texted to you. You could have the announcements emailed to you. But if you look in the announcements here, you can see that you have a welcome to the class, some online access to the book. If you're having some challenges purchasing the book, you can access it free for 21 days. And this has information about that. There's a note in here about being sure that you use the modules in the class, not the grade book, not the syllabus, not the calendar, but that you look at the modules for the class. You're going to be shown those in this video. And then you can see there's some information here about DACA students, and then a really cool article about if you want to make good money, what are the best fields to get into? Hint, hint, communications in the top 10. So in terms of the syllabus, when you click on the syllabus link, you'll notice that there's a link to the syllabus, and it's going to take you to the online syllabus for this class. One of the things that I recommend is that you bookmark this. The syllabus for this class is a website, and it is a website created using a Google Doc. And when you go into the syllabus, you're going to see the probably most important thing for you thinking about as students is how your grade is calculated, which is in this section. You can see about the grades, standard 90 to 100 is an A, that kind of thing. But the calendar is super important so that you understand when are things due and when do I have to get work done. There's also a brief calendar at the bottom of this syllabus link in Canvas, and you can go through, you can see all the work that you need to be doing to get ready, be prepared for class. So mentioned about the modules. The modules are the heart of this class. This is where everything comes together. So the modules are put together your first day of class. So this time of getting into class and getting ready for that, that's where you found this video so that you can get used to the class and be prepared to be successful. And then if you notice, it's nice, you can kind of click this and turn the module off. This is the first unit of instruction where we're going to lay down the foundation for communication. And you'll notice at the beginning of each one of the units is a list of the competencies. The competencies are what you are going to be able to do when the class is completed. These are the things that we're working towards to help you be able to do these certain tasks. So just for an example, in Unit 1, you'd be able to define the process of communication. You'd be able to describe the influence of perception and the influence of self-concept, talk about the strengths and weaknesses of language, learn about the influence of nonverbal behaviors, and then also be able to identify the characteristics of active listening. So that's super helpful to be able to understand what it is that you're going to be doing in this module. So just for an example, and all of the class lessons are put together in this way. When you go into the lesson, you'll see some objectives. So lesson 1 is an introduction to communication. So describe the models of communication, be able to identify the parts, and be able to list the goals of communication. And then you can see that the first thing you're supposed to do is read the chapter in the book. And then there's a presentation. If you need something, you feel like you need additional information, need something to kind of stimulate your thinking, there's always a presentation you can look at. There's the reading quiz that you need to do after you read the chapter. You're going to do reading quizzes every week. And then there's some activities. In this particular unit, there's a matching model exercise, and there's a discussion board. Discussion boards are going to happen every week. Your original post on your discussion board is going to be due on Monday, and then your reply to a colleague is going to be due on Wednesday. And then on Friday, when you come into class, you're going to get to do activities related to the topic for the week. Additionally, there's a study guide here. If you feel like you're just not getting it and you're reading the book, you really want to be able to take notes of your reading, or you want to bring the study guide to class to ask questions, you can find a study guide for every single one of the units. All the lessons have study guides. So let's look at in the modules again. This should be the place that you come over and over again, modules. And let's look at another lesson in the class, the lesson about self and perception. So if we click on that lesson again, we see a course objective, be able to describe how perception impacts communication. There is, you need to read the chapter. There's the presentation, the multimedia. There's a reading quiz, and guess what? There's a discussion board about self and perception and a study guide. So as I mentioned, each one of the lessons is put together in this way, so they're very consistent as you go through. And you can see that you have Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3. Unit 1 lays those foundations. In Unit 2, you're going to talk about interpersonal and small group communication. You're going to get a chance to do a small group project in the class about intercultural communication. So it ends up being a really interesting project, and you'll have time to work on it in class. And then the last unit in the class is going to be public speaking. So you're going to get a little bit of experience giving a speech. So when you are in the class, you can always go and look in the grades and see your grade. I recommend that you check your grade really regularly to see how you're doing. When you click on the people link, it's going to show the people in the class who are the other people that are enrolled with you. During that small group project, you'll use this collaborations tool. So you'll have a place that you can come together and collaborate. And then the college has the steps for success that can help lead you and guide you to some of the resources that are available at Phoenix College. We have a Disability Resource Center in the Hanley Center. We have free access to counselors in the basement of the Hanley Center. In the basement of the library is a tutoring and writing center. You can get help with writing papers, help with any of your classes. So there's lots of support here at Phoenix College. We really want you to be successful while you're a student here. So that is just a brief tour of your COM 100 hybrid class.